Imagine waking up in a brand new luxury apartment in the heart of Valencia, just sipping on your morning coffee in the sun on your terrace. Sounds like a dream, right? But here's the truth, you don't need 10 properties to live this sort of lifestyle. One great commercial property deal can completely fund it all. And today I'm going to be showing you how this one retail property on the Gold Coast is paying $80,000 a year in passive income, which is enough to fund this Valencia lifestyle. And it's nearly more than most people make at a full-time job effortlessly. I'm James Hawthorne and I research commercial property deals to see what sort of lifestyle they can actually fund. And today I'm going to break down the numbers and the strategy behind this one deal and show you how commercial property can completely outperform 10 plus residential properties. So let's get into it. Now let's get into analysing the property that's going to fund our financial freedom. So I found this retail property on the Gold Coast that's got waterfront views. It's literally right on the water. So it's in a prime location. It sold for $3.7 million. And as you can see, it's this bottom floor of retail properties. So I think you get 4 retail properties all together. It looks like there's a restaurant. You've got apartments above. So you've got this nice, it's probably seafood restaurant. Views of the whole water, pretty good location. Got a nice cafe as well, got a bar. So it's a prime location. It's got apartments above, which always means it's going to be, supply of people walking down to the shops, having a nice dinner as well. It's a blue chip investment. Total income is $248,000 a year, and the tenant's going to be paying GST and outgoing, which is a good thing. So all of that money is going to be passive income that we're going to use to pay down their debt or just funding our lifestyle. So it includes the indoor and the outdoor area, and it's leased to a mix of 4 long-term tenants. As you can see, there's that restaurant, a little cafe as well. So there's 4 storerooms and 4 car parks as well. So this is kind of probably a buy and hold, boring investment property. It's in a prime location. There's not much value add opportunity besides upping the rents, but it's in a really good location that's going to be growing long term because you can't knock down that apartment block and build new buildings, and there's a fixed supply of tenancies and commercial property in that area, and you can't build out and add more tenants because there's water, so you can't build on the water. So it's in a fixed supply area, but increasingly demanding areas. There's going to be more demand for commercial property on the Gold Coast with the Olympics coming up and things like that. So it's a really good buy and hold property. Now let's get into analysing the cash flow to see what sort of passive income this property is going to generate. So looking at our cash flow snapshot, we've got that purchase price of $3.7 million using a 30% deposit. Our net income was $248,000 a year. Now using the 6.5% interest rates on the loan, our mortgage repayment is going to be $168,000 a year, which is a lot, but because the rent's $248,000 and the interest is $168,000, we're going to be left with $80,000 a year in cash flow just from this one property. That's the income of the average Australian. This one asset's going to be generating. Now, if we look at the cash flow snapshot, it's not until we get to 10% interest rates as the property start to become negatively geared. So you've got a decent buffer in place in terms of how high interest rates have to go before properties, you're having to pay for the property out of your own pocket. And $10,000 a year isn't a lot. But if the interest rates go down to 3%, you're going to be positively geared $170,000 a year, which is a huge amount. Just from one commercial property, it's going to be generating $170,000 a year in passive income. And if we look at our property pay down calculator, using the same purchase price and yield, using a 4% rental increase, and if you use the cash flow each year to pay down the debt, in year 1, you're going to be having an $80,000 a year passive income. By year 5, you're going to be generating $149,000 a year in passive income. By year 10, you're going to be generating $276,000 a year in passive income. By year 12, the property is completely paid off and it's generating almost $400,000 a year in passive income just from this one retail strip on the Gold Coast. And $400,000 a year, on a $3.7 million property, it's like 11% yield on purchase, which is pretty amazing. If you just hold it for a decade, passive income this property is going to be generating debt-free. It's going to completely fund whatever sort of lifestyle you want. Now let's go and look at what sort of lifestyle can actually fund based on this passive income from this one property. Now for born on a budget, I decided to go to Valencia and see what we can actually afford based on our $80,000 a year passive income budget. And Valencia is one of the nicest cities in Europe. You got the nice beaches, you got all the history. It's one of my favorite cities. And so I found this really nice apartment that rents out for $6,500 a month, which ends up being $78,000 a year. So that just fits within our budget. Now let's go have a look at this apartment. So for this apartment, we're getting a 3-bed, 2-bath apartment, really high ceilings, rents out for $6,500 a month. And it's really nicely furnished. It's kind of got that rustic feel about it. Really nice bedrooms, clean, amazing bathrooms, nice finishings. You know, it's got its own little balcony as well. It's pretty in a good location, so it's right in the center of Valencia. If we find a map, so it's right in the center of Valencia. You've got the main park, which is an amazing park, and you've got all the beaches along here and the promenades. So it's in the right in the heart of the city of Valencia. So prime location, $6,500 a month, and it's completely funded just by this one commercial property on the Gold Coast. And within 12 years, that property is completely paid off debt-free, giving you $400,000 a year in passive income. That's the power of commercial property. So that's how one commercial property can completely fund this dream Valencia lifestyle. Now, if you like these sorts of videos, go watch my last video where I show you exactly how commercial property can completely fund a luxury apartment in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So go watch that next, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out.